At an altitude of nearly 32,000 feet, cracks suddenly appear in the front windshield of the plane. As soon as the pilot notices this, he immediately senses the danger. Without wasting time, he contacts ground control to report the situation. But before he can even finish his sentence, the windshield completely shatters. Due to the extreme air pressure in the cockpit, the co-pilot gets pulled out and ends up hanging outside the plane. Shattered glass pieces strike the engine, causing one of the plane's engines to get severely damaged. The high-pressure wind causes a door to break open, which leads to a violent jolt. An air hostess loses her balance and falls. Yet she shows immense courage and rises to the occasion. She immediately advises all passengers to put on their oxygen masks. Meanwhile, the co-pilot is still hanging out of the broken windshield. The fellow pilot tries to pull him back in, but due to the strong winds, he is unable to do so. The plane is rapidly descending from its high altitude. If nothing is done soon, the plane might crash directly into the snowy mountains. Even in these critical and life-threatening conditions, the pilot does not lose hope. He uses all his strength to regain control and lift the plane back up. Eventually, his efforts pay off. As the plane stabilizes, there's a massive jolt, and the co-pilot falls back into his seat. At that moment, a third pilot also displays bravery. Despite being injured, he crawls toward the cockpit and finally reaches it. The cockpit door is quickly shut, making the cabin a bit more secure. Pilot immediately takes position and sends an emergency signal. As soon as the control room receives the signal, they spring into action. All other flights are canceled immediately. The runway is cleared. Medical teams, fire brigades, and security forces are all deployed on site. But just then, another threat appears. A massive, dark, stormy cloud filled with lightning and strong winds stands in their path. The pilots take no risk and steer the plane in another direction. They begin searching for an alternate route through the clouds. All the passengers are terrified, as the situation is extremely delicate. After circling for a while, they finally spot a narrow path through the storm clouds. The pilots decide to fly the plane through that path. As the plane enters the storm, the black clouds surround it from all sides. Lightning flashes all around, threatening to strike the aircraft at any moment. Life itself seemed to be hanging by a thread. In the middle of all this, heavy rain begins, followed by hail, which repeatedly strikes the plane with force. Suddenly, the aircraft disappears from the radar amidst the dense storm. Everyone at ground control falls into despair. They believe they've lost everyone on board. But then, the plane bursts through the clouds and emerges from the storm. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief. However, the plane is now dangerously close to snow-covered mountain peaks. The captain quickly pulls the plane upward and narrowly manages to fly past the mountains. Now they face the most crucial challenge of all, a safe landing. All three pilots show courage and work together to bring the plane down. They are just moments away from landing. Every passenger holds their breath, filled with fear and silently praying for safety. Thanks to the pilot's courage and presence of mind, the plane is successfully landed. All passengers are completely safe, with tears of joy streaming down their faces. This entire incident stands out as an aviation miracle, an unforgettable moment in the history of civil aviation.